We're live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the May Ask Away, where I answer your questions. Once a month, we do this over on Patreon, where you get to ask your questions. It can be anything and everything, and I'll answer them in the show. You can also show up live. We do this at 11 a.m. Central Time, which is like 9 a.m. Pacific. 12 p.m. Eastern and like 5 p.m. In London, Brisbane time. But sorry for the Australians. Y'all are like 2 or 3 in the morning. If you want to stay up late and join, you can. But also for the paid Patreon wit friends, then y'all get the replay. So this month, I thought it would be fun to kind of have like a loose theme or a topic to send your questions in about. And the loose theme was client-facing questions. So this is anything from like your user experience, the people who are working with you, how their experience is going. So we got some good questions about that. If you are watching live, definitely send in another question. If you're just like, ooh, okay, we can talk about like, I don't know, some examples were like questions about contact forms, like what to put in your contact forms, or how to have a good website that leads the viewer through what you want them to see in order to get to your contact page and have the relevant information so they're not wasting time sending you an inquiry and you're not wasting time responding to their inquiry and being like, yeah, no, we're not a good fit. And then anything that is the client experience, from posing to communication, automations, all of that. So if you have any of those questions or any others, because we did get some, or at least one off topic, which is great. I love some off topic questions as well that are not business photography related. But let's get into them. I had to write them down because I decided to go live over here on Instagram. Just for anyone else, this is not going to be replayed, but anyone on Instagram, y'all can also send in some questions live. So I wrote everything down. Let's get into it. First question. What questions do you think are must-haves on inquiry forms? First of all, you got your, the obvious ones. Name, email address. I believe Ariel was the one that sent this in. So I know that you're a wedding photographer and also a senior photographer. So you might have different contact forms there. But I would say for wedding photography, their name, whoever the main contact person is, their partner's name, their email address. I like to put phone number. I leave that one as optional, because I know some people don't want to give out their phone number and they're like, I will give my email address to communicate with you, but I don't want you texting me. And other people are like, yes, please just text me. So I put that in optional. Most everyone puts in their phone number. Very rarely do I have someone who decides to opt out of that. But yeah, name, partner's name, email address, phone number, if you want to. I recommend it. And then for weddings, wedding date. I think that's all that we really need. That gets you a lot more inquiries than having a longer contact form. If you have a bunch of stuff for them to fill out, and they have to fill out like their budget, they have to fill out their wedding colors, they have to fill out, do you have a wedding planner, and if so, what is their name, and how big is your wedding party, and where did you meet, and tell me a little bit about yourselves. Like, That's a lot for them to fill out, and you will get people who will fill that out. You will get people who will be like, okay, yeah, I absolutely want to work with you. I will take the 12 minutes to fill out this whole thing and figure out all of that. But to be honest, if I was doing that and I was like had 7 different tabs open for different photographers, I'm probably not filling out that one. To be honest, it's a lot, unless your work really speaks to me or your personality really speaks to me, then I will spend the time. But if you're wanting to get more inquiries, have a shorter contact form. I'll be right back. It is summertime and the kids are here, and one of them got into our eggs. I said, I'm going to be in a meeting for like 30 minutes. Y'all have some shows, chill. I'll be away. We are 6 minutes in, and they got into eggs. I'll be back. Play some music or something. And we're back. We got some good farm fresh eggs the other day from my brother-in-law's house, and they were cool, like blue eggs too, which I think is why they wanted to play with them, because they were blue, and they're like, oh, cool, an egg. I will do something with it. And what they did was just drop them in the hallway. Where was I? Inquiry forms. Yes. I think I answered that. I was saying longer, more in-depth contact forms are going to get you fewer leads, but they are going to, what's the word? They're going to kind of already filter out some people who are either not that interested or who don't know yet. They just don't know a lot of the questions. So you're going to get fewer but more solid leads. Shorter contact form, you're going to get more leads, but you might get a few that are not that great of a fit. So I recommend somewhere in the middle, definitely not a just name email address and message box. That's another thing. Put just a message box of, you can say, tell me about your wedding, or share whatever you want to know, or something like that. Share whatever you want to know. Don't put that. That's confusing. But yeah, something where you're just asking them to put in a little message here, and that can give you more information. I definitely recommend doing that. That way you have information to build upon whenever you reply to them, and it's not just a, hey, so excited about your wedding day, you're engaged, bow, bow, bow. And then it's like, tell me about, where is your wedding? What day is your wedding? I would love to hear more about your wedding. But if you put in that message box and then they talk about the vision, the vibes, the location, how many people they're having, whatever they want to share, then you have something to go off of and just be like, oh man, I absolutely love that venue. I love that y'all are doing like a 70-person wedding. You know, we don't need 250 people here. It's just a small, intimate party. This is going to be great. That kind of stuff. Something for you to build upon afterwards. So I hope that was helpful. For seniors, I would say name, email address, senior's name if different, because I know that a lot of seniors, they get booked by their parents. Their parents are the ones who are paying it. So, you know, your name would be the main contact person, which would probably be mom or dad. And then the senior's name, and then like maybe just a text box of desired date range. something like that. Because often they're not like, I want June 16th. It's, looking for like mid-June to do this, or preferably a weekend or something like that. That way you have information there too. If you want to put another box in there to get some more information about like where they're graduating from, if they're into any like extracurriculars and stuff that you can incorporate into their seniors, you can do that there. But also that's a really great question to ask in your initial email. So thanks for that one. Let's see. Where do you find new leads? And I'm sorry that I don't have the names for these because I just jotted them down because I'm live on Instagram. I don't have the screenshot for who it is that asked these. But where do you find new leads? Good question. They're all over the place. Personally, I find a lot of leads through Google and ChatGPT, through my SEO that I've worked on for the past, really, I was going to say 13 years, but it hasn't been the whole time that I've had a business. Been really working on it like the past probably 10 of like actual working on SEO and keywords and all of that. So I would say, don't sleep on blogs. Blogs are great. They're going to get you ranked up higher on Google, and they're also going to have more information for ChatGPT, Claude, other AI screeners to screen through and learn about you and your business, so that whenever people are asking about, I'm looking for a photographer who has photographed at this venue and is this style and this price range, they can go through all of your blogs and see, oh yeah, you have photographed at that venue, you are in their price range, and you have this style because you actually talk about your style on your website. So it's a whole thing. I'm going to be doing a whole episode soon. I'm talking to someone who is an expert in what is it called now? AEO? No, that doesn't sound right. It's like artificial. No, it's not artificial. Yeah, automated engine optimization. I don't know. It's very similar to SEO, search engine optimization, but it is set up to talk more about you and your business instead of just using keywords, but talk about you and your business so that whenever someone is searching through Claude about looking for a candid style documentary wedding photographer in the Houston area, you pop up. That brings in a lot of leads, and that is evergreen and continues to compound on itself to grow bigger and bigger. Also, yeah, social media. I don't get a ton through social media, but I know a lot of people do. Social media for me has been more of a connection point for either current clients, other photographers. Really, I think like 80% of the people who follow me are other photographers, which I do post a lot of photography related content because I'm also a photography educator, so there's that. But yeah, social media is another good one where you can show a little bit more of yourself on there, and people can see who you are. They may not directly like DM you for prices, but they may go to your website through Instagram and find you there. But yeah, if you're looking for new leads, I would say go network with people. Network with venues. If you're a wedding photographer, network with venues, network with planners, network at social events, and really just put yourself out there, because that gets you front of mind, because they might be meeting with a couple the next day, and then that couple's like, oh yeah, we're looking for a photographer who's laid back but also fun and can get us to get out of our shells because we're super awkward. Then they're like, "Ooh, I just met Stacey the other day at this thing. She would probably be really great for you. I'm gonna send you her Instagram or whatever." But yeah, network, work on your SEO. Don't sleep on that. It continues to grow and grow and grow and bring more and more leads the more that you do it. So I know it's really easy to just like jump on Instagram and be like, I need to post every single day at 9:30 in the morning, and you can still do that. I would just recommend like batching that. Oh no, my phone's almost dead. How did that happen? All right, sorry Instagram. Uh, it's 11 o'clock and my phone's already almost dead. Um, but yeah, it's I don't remember where I was going with that, but you figured it out. Good job. You got there. Your client's experience extends far past the photo shoot and into the photo delivery service. Let's stop using boring old delivery services and clunky portfolio pages where you need to send like a 15-step direction page on how to even download the photos. Enter PickTime. PickTime is a gorgeous photo delivery service that is so customizable. You can incorporate your brand colors and logo, and you can customize how it looks for your clients, all while monitoring how they can download photos, what watermarks you have on there, and a bunch of security for their privacy, and so people aren't just downloading photos here and there. And the best part, which quite literally pays for itself, is the print shop. They have a lot of options with really high quality printers all across the states. PickTime also creates sales automations for just about every holiday, which you can easily set up and apply to galleries in minutes, making you extra money and serving your clients with high quality printed artwork. Because we don't want these photos dying on a computer somewhere. Right now, you can get your first month absolutely free by going to allheartphoto.com/picktime. That's allheartphoto.com/PICTIME and get 1 month free. Now, back to the show. Next question. Pineapple on pizza. That's the whole question. Um, I was I was vehemently against this. I don't really like cooked fruit. It's not the best. Um, I I didn't like the idea of like sweet pineapple on pizza. I grew up in a strictly pepperoni house. We never had anything other than pepperoni pizza. I think until we like went to Cece's Pizza, and back when it was like $2.99 for the buffet, and it was a glorious buffet, and they had like macaroni pizza, and they had Alfredo pizza, which I loved. It didn't smell that great, but it tasted good. And I remember then I tried some different pizzas, but it was always pepperoni. We just went back to pepperoni over and over. So that was like pizza needs to be savory. I had a slice of Hawaiian pizza, which I believe was started in Canada, I think, not Hawaii, but it was pretty good. The sweetness of the pineapple pairs really well with the saltiness and savoriness of pepperoni, and I'm not going to order it. That's not for me, but I'll eat it for sure. If that's all that we have, I will eat pepperoni with pineapple on it, or pizza with pineapple on it. Also, I think one thing that kind of like shifted me to being open to pineapple on pizza was I went to this dive bar. I think it's called King Burger or something in Oh, I don't know. It's a border town between Minnesota and Wisconsin. And it's like this dive bar right on the border, or just I think it's on the Wisconsin side. But they make these off the wall kind of burgers, and they had one that was like King's Hawaiian or something. Kind of a play on the rolls. And it I think it had King's Hawaiian buns, which were really great, but then it had grilled pineapple on the burger with barbecue sauce. It was really good, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I'm okay with cooked fruit if it tastes like this. So shout out to King's Burger. I need to go back. It's been a minute since I've been up in you know Wisconsin. Actually, I think it's been like 25 years. So that's crazy. That's not right. It's been like 17 years. Still, that's a lot. Where was I? Next question. Let's go back to the contact forms. Should I have a budget in the contact form? So should you have like the question, what is your budget? You can. It's a good qualifier, especially if you're in the higher end to luxury side. If you're charging anywhere from like 7 to 15 plus thousand for a wedding, sure, put your budget in there. That's a good qualifier for people who are looking for a $2,000 photographer. I think you don't necessarily need it on there. I like to put my average package price right above the contact form. So if they didn't go to my services page, which has like the investment details and it has all the pricing stuff, and gives you a good, like, this is the starting price for smaller, more intimate weddings. This is the average price that a lot of couples land at, like this range. Then I just move that, copy it over to the top of the contact form. So as they're filling it out, they can see this is the starting price for this is the average price. And that's a good qualifier that they're just like, ooh, actually, you know what? I didn't know that. That is out of our price range. Not going to fill out this. On to the next photographer, which does not waste their time and does not waste your time. If they're like max budget $2,000, you can't talk me into more than that, and you're like, I don't start for less than 5. So I don't think you really need a budget question in the contact form. I think just being upfront about like at the very least what the average is, I think that's better than starting, because if you put your starting price only, that anchors them with what the starting price is, and there's like a whole psychology of pricing, which I am happy to dive into on another day, and I've made podcast episodes about this, but they pretty much, like, if you're like, oh, we start at 2,500, that's what they're anchored in at. That's the number that they know. That's what they're thinking of. So then whenever you send a quote that's 5,500, they're like, ooh, but we talked about 2,500. So this just feels too much. But if you give them a good range where like most people land between 5 and 7,000, then it's like, oh, okay. And then you get them that 5,500 is like, oh, that's great. We're right in that range that we already knew about. So that's my answer for that one. Last question we have here is, what FAQs do you think are actually needed and many people don't list in their website? Okay, so what FAQs do you need that most people do not have listed? A lot of people have FAQs that are just like, duh, everyone knows this. Or I sound like a seal. Or it's just like FAQs of like, what gear do you use? how do I know that your photos are backed up or whatever? It's just like a lot more technical stuff that you can get into later. I do think actually the how do you back up my photos, or how do you protect my photos from corruption or like losing the photos or something like that would be a good one, because overall you want your FAQs to be answers to questions that your potential clients would have, that whenever they get these answers, they feel more comfortable with you, and it builds trust that you are going to be the right photographer for them. So you don't really need to be like, you know, FAQ, how many states have you photographed in? That's not going to build any trust unless they're a destination wedding. But then it's like they probably saw destination work on your website, and that built trust a lot more than like, I've been to 39 states and looking to get to all 50 at some point. So here's some that I would recommend. What is the turnaround time for your photos? And you can go into your turnaround time, how quickly you get a sneak peek to them, how quickly they should expect the entire gallery. That's a big pain point for them. That is something that people are seeing online too. Recently, there have been a lot of brides who have taken to TikTok to share their experience with their photographers and just be like, they said that we were going to get the photos within 8 weeks, and it has been 12, and I can't get a hold of them. They keep saying that they're almost done and about to upload everything. But you know, they're sharing that experience. So that is a pain point for a lot of people right now, is like, I want to make sure, how do I know when the photos are going to be done? So having a FAQ about your turnaround time. If you travel, have an FAQ about travel, what that looks like, what you charge. Is it an upcharge? Is it included in destination packages? Side note, you should include it in destination packages, because then it feels like a deal for them, because like, we're not paying for all this extra stuff. I can also deep dive into that for another episode if you want. FAQs about retainers. What does the retainer look like? How do I book? What is the process for booking? Or even that one. What is the process for booking? Is a great FAQ, because then you can talk about fill out the form, hyperlink there. We'll chat. I'll send you a quote, and then all you need is a signed contract and retainer, and we're done. So that kind of FAQ would be great. Have you shot at my, or what if you haven't shot at my venue before? And just explain how you tackle that. Because a lot of people are wanting someone who has photographed at their venue before, because they don't understand that we can photograph wherever. They're just like, I need someone who has photographed the same exact ceremony before to make sure that you can actually photograph it. But just kind of go through what it is that you do, or give them a little insight into, as a photographer, I love new venues because it really boosts my creativity, and I like to arrive early and scope things out and just see what it looks like on the wedding day itself, and blah 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 blah. Talk about your things, what you do. Let's see, a couple more. These are on mine as well. What is the first look? I don't know how many times I've been on a discovery call and I've said something about like, are y'all doing a first look? And then they just look at me like, I don't know what this is, because it's wedding jargon that we talk about all the time, but not every couple knows. So you can have that on there. That's also a good blog post for SEO and AEO. But yeah, what is a first look, or why should I do a first look? or why shouldn't I do a first look? Whatever your personal feelings are on that. And then also, hey, Holly. And then also another one that I have on my FAQs is what if we are the world's most awkward people? So that's a good one to build trust of just like, hey, this is how I photograph awkward people. And also 99% of everyone is awkward. So you are going to feel like you're the most awkward people, but I can guarantee you my couple last week also felt like they were the world's most awkward people. 90% of the people in my portfolio also felt like they were the world's most awkward people. But this is how I work with you to get you to feel comfortable and being yourself in front of the camera. So those are some different things to put on your FAQs. I am going to check the chat real quick because obviously for echoing deals, I did not keep that up. No, not right now. But hey, Holly, if you have any questions, this is just an ask away. You can ask whatever you'd like. We're just chatting about all sorts of things, mostly client-facing type questions is what we have today. Where is my live? Weird. Let me go here. Interesting. Did I not actually go live on, what is this, Patreon? Maybe I exited out before I actually said go live. Let me see real quick. Oh, it looks like I didn't go live. Sorry, guys. Yep. Nope. Let's see. Just going to cut all this part. That's a bummer. Let's see. That's my pinned post. This one is the latest one. So, yeah. Then I guess that's it. My bad. I thought we were live on Patreon. So I'll post the replay for y'all. But yeah. Thank you so much for all the questions. Love these ask-aways. Love to answer any questions that you got. We are going to be doing another one next month. If you're listening to this as it has been released to the masses on Spotify and all the places, then this coming Friday is our next ask-away for June. And it'd be good if I had a calendar to figure out what that day is, but it's just this Friday. It looks like that would be June the 26th. June 26th is our next ask away. So you can ask questions at any time, really. You can just DM me on Instagram or send a message on Patreon of just like, hey, for the next ask away, I've been wondering about this question. And then I'll add it to the list of questions for that show. But yeah, if you're not part of the Patreon community with our wit friends, then go join. You can join the live videos on the free tier. Replays and everything are for the paid tier. And then also we have a lot of different critiques and are doing a pricing audit. So that one's going to be pretty fun. That is next week on June 5th, I believe is that day. But yeah, next week we're going to be doing a pricing audit. So if you're listening to this as it comes out, or as we are live, join us for that one. That one's going to be good. I talked a little bit about pricing psychology today. We're going to be diving deep into it there. And you can also submit your pricing page to me so I can review it and give you a little audit and anything that needs to be adjusted, or just pat you on the back and be like, you're doing an amazing job. Sometimes we need that too. So there's that. And you can also join, for the paid tier on Patreon, you get all of the podcast episodes ad free. You also get a little bit more access to the guests with being able to ask them questions and be there live for their interviews. And so thanks for joining. I will see you next time. Definitely join the next Ask Away and ask all of your questions. I'll see you then. Until then, continue to keep creating and keep making the world a better place. I forgot my little closing tagline. But yeah, y'all have a good one. Bye, y'all.